G'day folks, Tony again here for more Star Control 2. Dear viewers, we have just finished talking to the Zok-Fot pic, and you'll see that now that we've opened the star map, we have a little indicator that's appeared there showing us the Zok-Fot's location. Now, Alpha Tucanae was the name of the system that they said was their homeworld, the innermost planet. So that's it all the way up there. And you can quite clearly see that in order to get there, we would have to fly directly through Spathi space. So we're not going to do that immediately, but that is certainly something on our medium-term kind of objective or priority. You can see underneath the spaceship there, it's telling us it will take 39 fuel to reach where we're going. So that would be a round trip, presuming no interruptions, of 78 fuel, which would be enough to get us back to where we are, possibly even enough to get us then all the way back to Sol. But now is not the time to do that. I think another fuel pod would be in order to make that seem a little more feasible. And eventually at some point, I think we're probably going to be scaling down a little bit on the sheer number of cargo bays that we have. Anyway, for the time being, let's continue having a look around the Rigel system because we only just arrived here at this Planet 3 gas giant. So we'll head our way inwards and we'll keep having a poke around. So let's talk about phases of this game where we're getting close to starting to branch out and explore a little more beyond purely resource gathering. We have ourselves a reasonable number of spaceships here, even though we only have Earthling and Pekunk vessels at the moment. But we probably want to start shifting into a balance of exploring to meet new races and have discussions, in addition to continuing to collect and presumably starting to find some slightly more funky things. You may remember that the Melnorm was saying that biological data to get more gear and equipment from them, which is definitely a priority for upgrading to fancier tech, but also finding rainbow planets. Is a part of getting those extra credits for the Melnorm for purchasing things. And of course, there is a story / narrative to this game, and progressing our way through that is only going to happen via reaching and discussing things with certain races and concluding some larger scale quests in terms of progressing the plot. And with this game being called the Ur-Quan Masters, with this sort of variant of it that we're playing, clearly the Ur-Quan putting Earth under that slave shield is a big part of the thing that we're fighting against. Anyway, enough babbling. We have Class 3 tectonics here. So we're going to zip down and we're going to keep collecting as we're grabbing things from the moons around this Planet 2 gas giant here in the Rigel system. If there are other clusters of stars nearby, as I believe there are, we're going to go and explore them also. And depending on how things go, we may actually end up dipping our toe into the nearby Spathi space just to see what happens. Although clearly with FWIFO being dearly departed, thanks to my clumsiness, I don't believe that we're going to be able to recruit the Spathi into the new Alliance of Free Stars. But we'll see. That's my recollection of things, but I could be wrong because it's a decades-old recollection. I'm sure a little bit of cursory Googling would probably answer that question. All right, Planet 2, all done. So in even closer now here to this purple Planet 1. Let's see what we have. Scan like the wind. That's not as impressive as I'd hoped for. Sure. All right. So nothing more here. Let's go straight to the star map then. This is a little cluster of 3 stars here. That sounds pretty good to me. So Alphasaurus, Betasaurus, Gammasaurus, but I can't not say it. No Tyrannosaurus. we're going to go to Alphasaurus first because it is closest. And off we go. Now, when we do end up in combat again, we're going to be coming across a greater and greater variety of other species. You may have noticed already in the little bits and pieces of combat that we've had that every race or every species has a specific ship, and that ship has a primary attack and a secondary attack, varying amounts of energy and crew involved, and different levels of maneuverability, how fast they move, how fast they turn, yada yada yada. Clearly, there's a fairly complex web of rock, paper, scissors happening here. I don't remember what all of those balances and things are. Case in point, picking Fwifo and then Fwifo dying. Ooh, we've got some biologicals here. That's nice. And class 3 tectonics, that sounds achievable. So as we come across things and as we start inevitably having more ship-to-ship combat, I'm sure there's going to be a reasonable amount of reloading happening as I come to terms with remembering how on Earth, little pun there, how in the galaxy all of that rock, paper, scissorsing works. And of course, this being a 90s game, it is intended for you to be reloading when you realise that you've messed up. And I am certainly going to be doing that. So, finger on the shoot button here because we have some biologicals around. Let's see how this goes. They don't appear to be aggressive or overly aggressive, so that's nice. There's a few stationary ones here as well, so that might be worth investigating further. It only appears that it takes 2 hits to kill these, or at least these particular ones. 3 for these stationary ones as well, so nothing overly aggressive here. This is a fairly straightforward equation here. Ooh, look out. To trying to take these things down. So we're going to grab all of them. Losing nearly half of the crew on the vessel there is clearly a traumatic expedition down to the surface. Oh, that one there is definitely an aggressive one though, so let's proceed cautiously. So the danger of remaining still on the surface of this planet when there are... Ooh, that was close. When there are all of these earthquakes around, part of the reason why we had all of that crew loss there just before. We've nearly completely eradicated life on this planet, and I'm feeling mighty proud of it too. It's nearly a completely full hold of biologicals there, which I don't think we've had before on any planetary excursion. So I can take my my awkwardly positioned fingers off of the shoot button now, which is nice. I believe the default keys here, for those of you playing the home game, I'm using the cursor keys to move things around. To go forwards and confirm things is the enter button. To go backwards and move out of things, or to take off from the planet, for example, is the space bar. And the primary shooting button is actually /, which is right next to the right shift key, and the secondary fire is the N key, a full 4 keys to the left of the /. So there's some fun facts for you listening at home. You're welcome. All right, so that's Planet 3 of Alphasaurus harvested, and many biologicals have been acquired and stowed in the cargo bays. Little purple planet here. What wonders does it hold? Well, we're about to find out here on the 16th of December, 2155. Love it. Perfect. Super dense, Class 8 tectonic world. Absolutely worth our time to not go down there and be destroyed. There's a lot of biologicals on this super dense world. It's interesting that it's super dense, but it only has half the gravity of Earth. That seems slightly weird, but hey, it's a big universe, and I guess anything is possible. Right. What about this one? brimming with wonders, surely. Whoops, a little overambitious with our steering there. Sometimes it's just nice to cut loose, you know. So a little bit of burnout there. Right, what do we got? An infrared world. I love it. Full of not much. And nothing. And more nothing. We will leave this planet in peace. And we'll pop back to the star map. So there was something approaching us very close by there. We're going to go to Betasaurus next. We're also going to remember to save the game. Well remembered, Tony, considering that we're possibly going to end up in combat, or at least in conversation here in a moment. We are quite a ways away from Pekunk space, so I don't imagine it's going to be yet another repeated Pekunk conversation. So that will be a pleasant change, but let's find out what happens. Perhaps another Slylandro for us to harvest 550 resource units from. Certainly moving fast enough to be that. And there is the alarm, so it is not something that we have befriended yet. Yes, indeed, a Slylandro. I mean, I know this is moot, but we are a non-hostile and seek to establish friendly relations. I believe you. What can you tell me about your species? Remote probe programmed to replicate, record data, contact alien species. Nailing it. Priority override, new behavior detected, must break target into component compounds. Whoopsie daisy. Let's see if Han can save us again. Oh boy, where are those keys? There we go. Yes, indeed. Too close, too close, too close, and we're in a world of trouble. Oh, come on, shoot. Please shoot. That's more like it. Oh, we're in a world of trouble. I'm sorry, Han. I'll let you down. Energize indeed. Let's try Bracky. Why not? We haven't actually flown a Pekunk vessel before, so that's a bit more fun, isn't it? Oh, that's right. So the Pekunk throws throw insults to recharge their batteries. And I think we're going to have difficulty maneuvering into a position where this thing's going to come close to us. Probably going to have to let it approach from behind. Alright, so that rapid fire certainly helping us out, although whew, that is a near thing. Oh yes, just get away with one crew left. Go team. So we lost Solo, but Bracky victorious. Something to keep in mind, I guess. Autopilot kicking in again. And here we are at Betasaurus. Oof, just overflowing with potential. I'm so glad that we came here. Let's see what this one and only planet holds in store. I should probably stop saying the same sorts of things as we're approaching planets, but it's a bad habit that I picked up. A hydrocarbon world. Lovely. Covered in... Actually, those aren't base level default resources, and it's only class 2 tectonics, so that is a sure bet. Let's get down here and grab all the things. Delicious hydrocarbons. Excellent. These will hold us in good stead as they take up cargo space and sell for money. I love it. So that's progress. So one other star left in this little cluster. Although with only one planet being in this one, surely the next one is just going to have tons of stuff in it. Gammasaurus. Bring it on, Gammasaurus. So next time we flight a Slylandro, probably going to try and use a Pekunk vessel again. I don't actually know if we can build any Pekunk vessels at our shipyard or whether they were just... Oh man, I was so wrong. I could not have been more wrong. Or whether, now I've forgotten what I was saying, or whether the Pekunk just gifted us the ships, and we have to ask them for more. We don't get any more. I'm not sure. Let's go to Zeta Illuminati, which is just inside Spathi space, and we'll see if we happen across any of them on the way there. See, ship coming in from the right there. It is coming in towards us. It doesn't appear to be moving quite as fast as a Slolandro does, but I'm sure it's going to be there waiting for us upon our departure. There are so many planets here. This is great. Planet 9, all the way up to 9. I think 9 may be the maximum planets that a system can hold. So isn't it fortunate that we humans live in a solar system that at the time when this game was made had 9 known planets in it. So presumably when you're creating this game, you go, well, we're going to have Sol in it, so it's going to need 9 because Pluto is still a planet. So if we had evolved in a solar system that only had 3 planets, I wonder if this game would only have 3 planets maximum in it. Maybe then just brimming with moons. A little bit of what-if pondering here on Christmas Day of 2155. A Redux world. Ooh, got some radioactives there. That looks nice. A little chilly at negative 158 degrees. I shall pack my winter coat. Off we go. Delicious oxygen and chlorine. And fluorine. Yum. Everything a growing human needs. Zirconium. That's a weird shift. But fine. I mean, it's all just money in varying concentrations. And a perfect landing on the bromine. Good times. Yum, yum. How many do we have left? Not enough to pick up in this trip, so rather than losing potentially some resources, we'll do a quick duck back up to the ship and then back down again. There's one grey one down the bottom there as well. We better not overlook that. Excellent. All right. Some good collection happening there. Where to next? Another planet, I hear you say. I think that's an excellent idea. One of our 5 cargo containers are getting pretty full there, so that's good to see. We're going to head in towards this very excitingly coloured Planet 2. Into orbit we go. And now the scans that you've all come to know and love. Class 5 tectonics, but some nice solid blocks of resources available there. And we do have a full set of 7 landing craft. So let's get rambling here. So earthquakes and no fire trails. I like it. May have to do a little bit of dodging here, but I'm sure we're up for it. Good-o. Look at us go. We're doing it. It's working. This seems fairly achievable to me, hopefully with fairly minimal loss. Free radicals, I love it. I'm all about those free radicals. Alright. It's always frustrating on these planetary landings when you're in the process of landing and you see an earthquake start, and there's not a lot you can do to avoid it. Fortunately, that hasn't happened yet. So losing about 1.7 fuel there, I think, at the moment per landing. Oof, that was close. But hopefully these will sell for a goodly amount. Nice. That was a more profitable planet than I had assumed, given its not terribly exciting coloration. I wonder what the orbit trail colors of these planets is actually saying. I don't know if it means anything or not. Okay. Quasi-degenerate world. Okay. I would love to know what earned it the quasi prefix there, but fine. We'll leave you to it. Quasi-degenerate world. Maybe that's what the green orbit trail means. I don't know. Quasi-degenerate, boy. Okay, whoops, wrong direction. Let's head back this way. Good times. This little blue one here. Yay! Blue is promising. Earth is mostly blue. Ultramarine world. Mmm, delicious. Ooh, and covered in biologicals as well. I mean, that's potentially good, depending on how hard they are to kill. And how fast they're moving around. They're not moving around at all. Interesting. We do have lightning to worry about, though. Oh, what's more of these things? Good times. Yeah. So the shooting doesn't appear to drain anything. Oh, those lightning bolts are a real pain. So we should be able to, collect all of these. Ow! Lightning's not supposed to strike twice. I'm getting close to dying there, so we're going to come back up again. Before we head back down, please don't land on one of them. That was very close. Should have landed further away. That was nearly my bad. We've already lost one crew here. I can only assume that it was Joe. Sorry, Joe. I guess her luck just ran out. Alright. Yeah, we did it mostly. Hooray. So we've probably got a reasonable amount of biologicals to take to the Melnorm now. We might have to make that a soonish priority, because it would be good to upgrade, I mean, quite literally, whatever it is that they're offering to us. If it's going to be a serial string of upgrades, we'll want to be getting through them as quickly as we can. And it would be nice to find one of those rainbow worlds that they were talking about, because I'm sure that that those will net us a good amount of credit that we can then spend on groovy things. Now, the last time we were at a planet that was coloured like this, it went rather well. Let's see if that happens again. Come on, scan. Organic world. I love organics. I mean, it's not terrible. It's not great. But just for fun, let's see what these things are. Earthquakes again. Formaldehyde. A mortuary world. Whoa. Ow. So that little before shock there, only hitting us for one human life. All right. Good-o. There's a gas giant nearby now, I think. So I believe there's a gas giant, hopefully brimming with moons, and then there's, I think, maybe two other planets one other planet further out that we haven't been to yet. I mean, brimming technically could mean one, so it's not terrible. I can only assume that that it's only tracking moons that are large enough to realistically land on, because anything with the mass of a gas giant in the inner parts of a solar system, I believe, purely by physics, is probably going to have a lot of stuff around it. Although that could be complete bullshit. I'm not a qualified astrophysicist, so don't quote me on that. Hey, Planet 8, I like your style. So much so that I just thought I'd stroll past and have a quick look at you. Much like an early human probe heading to the outer solar system. It's nearly New Year's. We're going to spend New Year's in space around a pellucid world that has nothing on it. Tremendous. Help me out, star map. Let's go to another nearby spot. This one here looks great. Eta Illuminati. So we'll lock that in. We'll start heading towards it, and once again we will save the game because there is something lurking in space just outside, presumably the Kuiper belt of this system. Go Dank! 85 crew. I don't know if our mothership is powerful enough to really kick any ass yet. I know it certainly will get to the point where it will do that. Oh, great. I mean, why not? We wish to learn more about you. Please transmit data. I'd love to. What data could we submit here? Submit or be destroyed. Yeah, why not? This probe is programmed to defend against hostile behavior. Yeah, cool. Priority override, new behavior dictated. Must break target into compounds. Let's see if, well, not Bracky. Bracky's all out of crew. Let's see how Fuzzy goes. Let's do it, Fuzzy. We might even remain stationary and then do that.
Stupid loser, baby. Stupid wimp, baby.
All right, back up to full again. Oof, this is not going to go well. So some real quick acceleration and potential turnaround here on this Pekunk vessel. Just want to try and stay straight into the planet, and I'm nearly dead. That was clumsy. Let's see if we can... What's our range? Not very good. And it's got an auto-tracking zappy zap, so we are in a ton of trouble here. I'm not feeling hopeful about Fuzzy's chances. Not one little bit. Oh boy, starting to get a little bit motion sick here. There we go. Too bad, Fuzzy. You did your best. One good hit with Halleck's shooty shoot here should solve the problem, though, I would hope. Oh no, they zapped it before it got to it. That's a bad time. That will certainly help. And our little point lasers there, solving the problem. Good job, Halleck. Even though we lost one of our Pekunk brethren. It's going to give us a little more resource units. What a way to celebrate bringing in the new year of 2156. The advantage of... Whoa, here we have some Spathi. So considering what our recording clock is at, I think we're just going to have to leave it for this part of the Let's Play. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. You can subscribe to the channel if you'd like to be notified when other episodes are released, and please tell a friend if you think they might enjoy this, and come back again soon for more Star Control 2.